Hello and welcome to day 74. As I posted in the comments, we're going to do something a little wild today. But first, we're going to start in. I got a message from um, Rolly, an email today, kind of talking about the beta and wanted to give you a little update. There's going to be another release next week. So there will be some changes coming. A couple of things that they have acknowledged is the GUR, kind of the growling that we ran into yesterday. They think they have that fixed. And then they've also done some things to make it sound clearer. So that's something that will be in the next release and to keep an eye out for and kind of see what's going on. Also, the persistent memory, where when we're playing songs and we end for the day, and we come back in, we close the app down or we come back in the next day, it doesn't remember what we did song related. So apparently they're working on that. It's going to get better. It's not going to be perfect yet, but they said they're doing some basic forms of this will be available in the next build around songs with more coming over the next few weeks. So they're aware of it, they're working on it, and they're going to be making changes to that. And then the AirWave, was brought up about sometimes I can't talk today. I recalibrate my AirWave every day to kind of match with my fingers because I have to disconnect the keyboard to make space on my desk, so I can't have it sitting here all the time. The AirWave stays here, but the keyboard gets put in its case and set aside every day. So when I connect it up, I always do the AirWave. What they're looking at doing is making a more intuitive way to do that. So like maybe you say to the coach, calibrate my AirWave. One of the things I suggested is an option that when you start it, that it gives you an option to calibrate the AirWave. So they're working on that. They're working on some count off bars, which you are probably going to see when I do the crazy thing I'm going to be doing today. And some other things. So they are listening to the comments that we're making, and they are working on the program and making changes. So something new is coming next week. So we'll have a new build. I don't know exactly what day that's going to happen on, but it is coming next week. So that's going to be kind of fun. So let's jump in here and do the crazy thing. If you've been around for a little while, you've heard me talk about a song that I used to play years ago called Cristofori's Dream. And it's in this program. And I was thinking about this last night. I thought, I wonder how the music coach is going to handle, kind of learning that song. And then I also wondered what it would be like since, I'm not a newbie, but I am not as skilled as I once was. And my reading music, I actually is kind of a little bit better than I expected. But, that's going on. I do know that song. There's a lot of it that sinks in. So I thought it would be kind of fun to go play with that. And I did a little bit of that yesterday. And I ran into some very interesting things. And I thought it would be good to get that in the recording today. So today's whole episode is going to be focused on that. And oh, that's interesting. It says I've practiced for 52 minutes today. And that was what told me yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, see, it shows if you look at in the calendar where the 20 is, there's no circle around it. So if that was correct, that circle should be solid, and it's not. So chances are the work that I do in this exercise and this lesson today is not going to get tracked. And then later on this evening, I'm going to have to come back and then do some of the basic stuff to get that to count up. But anyway, let's get back over here. I want to kind of show you a couple of things that starts happening. And some of it will make sense, and I'll probably summarize it at the end. But anyway, enough of me talking. Let's get into this.
Hi, Paul. Great to see you. What kind of music are you into, and how have you been playing piano?
I'd like to work on Cristofori's Dream by David Lanz today.
I couldn't find that one in our library. Would you like a similar style of song, or do you have another piece in mind?
I'd like to do Cristofori's Dream by David Lanz.
I couldn't locate that piece in the library. Would you like me to find something in a similar style, or is there another song you'd like to try?
Look up songs by David Lanz.
I found Cristofori's Dream by David Lanz. It's marked as advanced, but we can break it down step by step. Would you like to focus on learning with notation, or do you prefer the falling notes view?
Sheet music.
Got it. So we'll work with notation view. Let me put together a quick plan for us to break down that song. We'll start by listening to the opening, then focus on the right, left hand, and finally both hands together for the first 4 bars. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Can we jump in to start practicing?
Sure, let's get your hands on the keys. We'll start with the right hand for the first 4 bars. I'll slow it down so you can get comfortable. Take your time with each note. Once you're ready, go ahead and start playing the right hand part. Let's focus on accuracy first, and then we'll build up speed. Watch out for that blue A and the orange D. Let's focus.
As you can see, it's telling me colored notes. There's no colored notes here. Even the keys on the piano are yellow. There's nothing colored in here, so it's not connecting. You'll also notice that when it was doing the intro, it made a comment about working on the first 4 bars or something like that, and then the right hand and then going into the left hand. There are no left hand notes until you're way further into the music. It's way past, I think it's closer to 16 bars in before the left hand, and maybe even further before the left hand even comes into play in this. So that's something else. If it does like it did when I was tinkering around with it, it's going to offer me to start learning the left hand when there's no left hand to learn. Hey, Valerie. It said the same thing yesterday. Anyway, we'll talk about that and see what you mean. But so there's, like I said, there's some interesting things happening with the countdowns and stuff like that at the beginning of the song. Sometimes it starts, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. And you're going to see where these yellow marks are. These are the loops. Those are the first 4 measures. Sometimes that is off a little bit and it resets and does some weird things, but it's kind of, it gets kind of interesting here. So I'm going to kind of do a little bit and then I'm going to skip kind of forward, go to the end, practice at full speed and stuff like that. But anyway, let's jump in again. It's pick up where we are. Let's continue.
Keep focusing on those tricky notes we talked about. Let's keep going. Fantastic job on those notes and fingering. Now we'll add a bit of rhythm at a slower tempo to build confidence. Let's go for it.
See, there it didn't give me a countdown.
Got it. We'll try again and I'll make sure you get a proper lead in. Ready to give it another go? Nice work. Keep it going. Great job. Let's move up to 46.
We go up to 60.
All right, we're bumping it up to 60 BPM. Let's give it a shot. You're doing great. Keep going.
The other thing is, as you saw there, it
It sounds like there's something
it's talking to me and the countdown starts, so it gets kind of confusing. It would be nice, I mean, the clicking just continues and continues and continues. It would be nice if it paused, gave me instruction, gave me a countdown, and moved on. Because in certain cases, it's rambling on, talking to me about what we're going to be doing in the next thing, and it's already started and moved. I've gotten a little bit better with the counting and kind of watching for the countdown, but it still catches me off guard, which it can be kind of confusing. So we're going to go back here. Now, as you also notice, it's not giving me any feedback anymore. It stopped talking to me. And it's just repeating the same thing over and over and over again. It's not speeding it up or doing any of that stuff. So you stopped giving me feedback.
Thanks for letting me know. I'll keep a closer eye on your progress and jump in with more feedback. Let's try that section again and I'll help guide you through it. Let's slow it down slightly.
Can we go up to full
Take your
speed?
time and try again.
Can we go up to full speed?
All right, full tempo now. Let's go for it. Let's accuracy. Make sure your fingers are landing right on those keys. Slow it down in your mind if you need to. You've got the rhythm and fingering down, so let's tighten up those notes. You're improving on timing and fingering. Great job. For accuracy, focus on placing each finger firmly on the correct note before pressing down. Let's keep it steady at this tempo until you feel more confident. Nailed it. Back up to 80 BPM. Almost there. Going. Amazing work. You've mastered those bars at full tempo. Now let's switch over to the left hand and break down the same section step by step. Let's take it slow and get comfortable with the left hand notes. Focus on each note carefully before moving on. Hold up. Play the green F key.
Now, this is not the left hand. There is no left hand here. This is all still right hand. So let's see if I can correct it. There is no left hand here. This is still the right hand.
Thanks for pointing that out. Let me double check and make sure we're focusing on the correct hand. All right, we're now set on the left hand for the first 4 bars. Let's take it slow and get comfortable with those notes.
There is no left hand here.
Thanks for your patience again. Let me double check everything and adjust the section if needed. It looks like this part is indeed mostly right hand. Let's shift focus to the next section where the left hand comes in more prominently. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, we're now set on the next section with the left hand. Let's start slow and get those notes under your
Again, there's no left hand here. I was able to get it to go out of this previously, but it's now insisting that there's left hand. That is not, let's go back to the, can we go back and play, can we go back and play through this music?
We're back to the first section now. Let's go through it again and build consistency.
Can we actually play, can you play this for me?
Sure. Section so you can hear how it sounds and follow along. Here's how it sounds at full tempo. Listen closely to the flow and feel of the notes. Once it's done, we'll get you back in to try it yourself.
Can you go back and play the entire song?
Let's listen to the entire song from start to finish. Get comfortable and follow along. Once it's done, we can work on any part you'd like.
And as you can see, it is now confused. So I'm going to try something here. The other thing that's interesting is when you're working on this, it used to be there was a learn section where it had you work with the keys. Not the music coach doesn't have it. It has practice and challenge, which is something that's different. But let's see what happens there. And we start this from the beginning with both hands.
We're all set from the top with both hands at a slow tempo. Take it nice and easy. Focus.
Okay, if you look at this music, the music is being presented kind of weirdly. So you see treble clefs on everything, but you can also see bass clefs in the background there. And you can see notes. It does look like at this point,
Blue A key.
it does come in. It looks like, I guess this is measure two. Yeah, this is, I think it's around 15 or something. No, that's still the treble clef. All this is treble clef. There's not bass clef until you get further into the music. So there is definitely something not totally correct here that needs to be taken a look at. But I just kind of wanted to get this on a recording. It actually went more crazy than it did previously when I was working on it. It went a little bit smoother before. But this definitely, there is some challenges in here that need to be looked at with the music, because it's like the AI has an algorithm for playing. It's like, okay, we'll play 8 measures and then we'll go back and we'll start working on the left hand. But in some cases, there's no left hand in the first 8 measures, but it's insisting there is. And then as you can see, the way the music is laid out here too, it's kind of a scramble. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to get this recorded today. I think we're going to end it at this point, since I've gotten pretty much most of the things in here that I wanted to cover. Let's see what it says. I'm done for the day.
You did an amazing job mastering the right hand at full tempo today. Next time, we'll keep working on both hands together and gradually increase the tempo. Keep focusing on accuracy and smooth transitions between notes. Great progress today, and I'm looking forward to next time.
As you notice here on the thing, I had to quit where I was doing and kind of started back in again. So it's basically giving me a recap. It's kind of encouraged me, even though I got no notes. According to this, I got no notes right, but my rhythm was 100%. So, that's kind of, I didn't have to play anything and I got my rhythm right finally. So this is kind of cool. But anyway, kind of a little bit of offness here too. But I just kind of wanted to get all this in on the recording. So, I could pass this over to Rolly so they could see exactly what's going on. But anyway, I think we're going to end it here for today. Thank you for joining me. We'll come back in tomorrow and we'll go back into the normal lessons and probably do some exercises. Let's see what we've got. We have 3 practice songs to do. So we're going to see if that gets picked up. I am not sure. We'll do some of the simple songs, but we have to finish a couple, so I'll find something that's easy, see if we can get those knocked out between Saturday and Sunday. But I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time, and then Sunday I'm going to be back at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the normal time. Oh, actually, sorry, this Sunday is at 6 p.m. Sorry, got the dates screwed up. Next week, I'm going to adjust my schedule. I'm going to start running my weeks beginning on Monday, and so my email will go out on Monday. If you want to join my mailing list and you're new here, I dropped a link in that. Hey, Jeff, welcome. I'm going to reset and then start counting. So week 12 is actually going to start on Monday, and I'll send out my email with the schedule and kind of a recap of what's happened in the previous week on Monday morning now instead of Tuesday. So get it adjusted. It'll be easier on my brain to kind of sort things out and keep things straight. But anyway, thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.